Hey there and welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk about how I like to remove the paper in my paper piece quilts. Now, I do a lot of things in the piecing process. Hi. You want to help me remove the paper? Yeah? This is going to be your job? Okay, fine. All right, we're going to get her out of here. I do a lot of things in the piecing process that really at the end of the day make removing the paper easier. That is reducing my stitch length to 1.5, using a 90-14 needle that's going to punch a bigger hole, using newsprint. Though all those things are going to make this a lot easier to remove. The other thing is I've already removed the paper in the seams. So all the paper that is touching these seams is going to come out really easy. In fact, you're going to notice that some of your paper, like right here and over here, this stuff has already started to fall out as I was piecing it together. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just let it fall out. But once my quilt is all together, there are a few things I want to do to make sure I'm able to remove the paper easily. The first thing, if you have a lot of bias along the edge, one of the things that I recommend is in the seam. So where you have, and I'm going to actually take a piece of this off and come a little bit closer to show you. So in the seam, right in between where you have your sewing line and your cutting line. So this solid line is your sewing line and this dotted line where I've cut is my cutting line. In between there, what I want to do is I want to sew a line all the way through that. That's going to reinforce the edges so that they don't warp. In this particular quilt, I really don't have a ton of bias on this. I do a little bit here in the middle, but it's such a big piece that it doesn't really matter. I can just tear this away. Now, I'm ready to remove the paper. As you can see, some of this tore off very easily. But what I want to do is just take my quilt, and this is going to be fun, I promise. Pull it in, pull it. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Let's turn it. I'm going to bring it in, and I'm tugging it. You see things flying over here. Let's just keep giving it a tug. And all of a sudden you can see this paper is starting to come off. You've loosened it and things are just going to start to peel out easily. And you just go in, just start tearing it off and you're good to go. Now, one of the tools that I did not mention in my tool video is little tiny tweezers. So again, I'll bring these up here. I like these because they have this little itty bitty point here that you can grab. Just grab. If it's stuck in the middle, if there's a little small piece that you can't get at, I can just go in with these and I can kind of get a little piece and tear it out. But here's the thing. If you've got a little bit of paper in there, it's not going to make a difference. I have quilts that are over 10 years old that probably have microasm of a little bit of paper in some of the areas where it needs up. It's not going to ruin the integrity of your quilt. You're going to be fine. There are actually some antique quilts that still have newsprint in them, and they're fine as well. So do the best you can to get the paper out. Again, if you've stitched small, if you've used newsprint, if you've used your 90-14 needle, this should be pretty easy. And if it's not coming out very easy, then you've got your tweezers and maybe you can enlist some friends to help you or family members to help you get the paper out. I used to always enlist my sister who would help me take the paper out. And now that she's moved away, I don't know who I can recruit to do that. But Katie, I miss you. Come back and help me remove paper from some of these quilts. I'll save some for you. But yeah, that's really pretty easy. If you guys have questions about how to remove the paper, if you're not using paper, if you're using dissolvable, if you're using all the wash away, or any of the other stuff, let me know as well. Do you have questions about how to remove the paper? When? Again, I don't do that until my entire quilt is already pieced. So let me know. How do your first paper piecing quilt go? If this is your first or many, you've done a few of these, just go into the comments below. I'll include some links again to some of the tools, these tweezers that I like, and a few other things in the description box. But until next time, I hope you get out there, create something beautiful. Happy quilting.